Attention! If you or a loved one have undergone surgery for pelvic organ prolapse or stress urinary incontinence, you may be at risk from a defective transvaginal mesh, sling, or OB tape device used by your doctor. The FDA recently issued warnings about the complications and side effects associated with transvaginal mesh and related devices. If you suffer from any of these symptoms, you may be entitled to compensation. Contact Friesen-Goss immediately for a free confidential consultation. Friesen-Goss is dedicated to helping you or your loved one through this troubling time. Call the law offices of Friesen-Goss today or go to mymeshclaim.com.
This is an important announcement for women who have received a surgical mesh implant or a bladder sling to treat pelvic organ prolapse or stress urinary incontinence. The FDA has issued warnings about serious complications and reported potential side effects associated with mesh and sling implants. If you have suffered from any of these symptoms, you may have a claim. Call the Johnson Law Group today for a free confidential consultation. Call 1-800-422-2211. The Johnson Law Group, helping you and those you care for. I am a paid non-attorney spokesperson.
Have you or someone you care for received the unthinkable diagnosis of mesothelioma? How will you cover your medical bills and protect your family? The Johnson Law Group can help. U.S. compensation trust funds have initial funding of $30 billion to financially help mesothelioma victims. These trust funds were established specifically for you. You've worked hard your whole life. Let us fight for you. Call the Johnson Law Group today for a free case evaluation. Call 1-800-757-8822. Exposure to asbestos in the workplace has claimed thousands of victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or an asbestos-related cancer, you are not alone. Every year, more families are left wondering how they will handle their financial obligations. We are here to help. The Johnson Law Group is a group of professionals dedicated to your well-being. Call the Johnson Law Group today for a free case evaluation. Call 1-800-757-8822. Over 220,000 people were diagnosed with lung cancer in the United States last year alone. Exposure or secondhand exposure to asbestos in the workplace may have put you at risk. U.S. courts have established trust funds of $30 billion to financially help mesothelioma and lung cancer victims. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with lung cancer, you may be entitled to compensation. Call the Johnson Law Group today at 1-800-502-4488 for a free and confidential consultation. The Johnson Law Group. Let us fight for you. I'm a paid non-attorney spokesperson.
Are you or someone you care for taking the drug Actos? The FDA has announced that long-term exposure to Actos may cause an increased risk of bladder cancer. If you or someone you care for have taken Actos and were diagnosed with bladder cancer, you may have a claim and be entitled to financial compensation. Call the Johnson Law Group immediately for a free confidential consultation. 800-581-4400 or go to johnsonlawgroup.com. The Johnson Law Group, helping you and those you care for.
This is an important announcement for anyone who has a child with a birth defect. The FDA recently issued public health advisories about the dangers of taking certain antidepressants and anti-seizure drugs while pregnant. If your child was born with a major birth defect, you may be entitled to financial compensation to help you cope with a lifetime of challenges. Call the law offices of Friesen-Goss for a free confidential consultation. Call Friesen-Goss now or go to mydrugclaim.com. Friesen-Goss is dedicated to helping the victims of these drugs, one family at a time.
Have you or someone you care for undergone surgery for stress urinary incontinence or pelvic organ prolapse? There may be risks from defective mesh implants, slings, or OB tape devices used in these procedures. Recently, FDA warnings have been issued about side effects and complications related to mesh implants and related devices. If you or someone you care for have experienced any of these symptoms, you may have a claim. Contact the Johnson Law Group immediately for a free confidential consultation. Call 1-800-422-1111 today or go to johnsonlawgroup.com.
Are you or someone you care for taking the drug Avandia? The FDA has announced that exposure to the diabetes drug Avandia may cause a heart attack, congestive heart failure, stroke, or even death. If you or someone you care for has taken Avandia and suffered a heart attack, congestive heart failure, or a stroke, you may have a claim and be entitled to financial compensation. Call the Johnson Law Group immediately for a free confidential consultation. 1-800-518-7700 or go to johnsonlawgroup.com. The Johnson Law Group, helping you and those you care for. To increase profits, certain nursing homes cut essential staff, which devastates residents' care. Understaffing leads to deadly bed sores, traumatic injuries, severe dehydration, and malnutrition. If you or your loved one have fallen victim to nursing home care neglect or abuse while living at Christopher East Healthcare Center, you may have a claim. Call the Johnson Law Group, devoted to protecting the rights of the elderly. Call 800-270-7700. Are you deeply concerned about the care your loved one received while living in a nursing home? Were your complaints about poor care repeatedly ignored? If your loved one developed bed sores, severe dehydration, malnutrition, or shocking injuries while a resident of Kindred Transitional Care and Rehabilitation Rosewood, you may have a claim. Call that Johnson Law Group, devoted to protecting the rights of the elderly. Call 1-800-337-6600. I am a paid non-attorney spokesperson.